Welcome to a special Wrestlemania edition of Jaws on Sports. I'm Mike, and as you can see, Zach is not with me tonight. He's under the weather. He's not a pro wrestling fan. And we're going to try again tomorrow to talk about the Elite Eight and then the Final Four predictions that we have for the basketball tournament. Tonight, we've got the WrestleMania edition, and this may or may not ever see the light of day. I'm going to try this as a solo, see how it goes. And for our fans out there, I'm repping the great Macho Man Randy Savage over here in the corner. Step into a Slim Jim if you like it. And of course, I've got the RKO shirt for the great Randy Orton, who has the best finishing move of all time, and there's no question about it. So anyway, this weekend, WrestleMania number 39 at the SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Be 2 nights. I'm going to go over the match card. Some of these will go over real quick, tell you what I think. And for our pro wrestling fans out there, I know you're going to love this. Like it, subscribe it. To prepare, I've got my Roosters sweet tea with lemon right here. We went to Roosters tonight. Shout out to those folks over there over in Pickerington, Ohio. Best darn wing sauce in the world, well, at least that I've tried. And I've tried a lot. The garlic sauce at Roosters. So let's get on with the program. I don't know what kind of order these are going to be in, what nights are going to be. So just kind of take it from what we've got. The first one I've got is Dominic Mysterio versus his father, Ray. And I hope this goes one way and one way only. Ray kicks his ass. That would be very nice. Father beats the crap out of his son. Of course, in a family-friendly WWE type of a way. Ray is getting inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame this weekend, and he's wrestling his son. Go figure. They had a great run as a tag team. Dominic turned to the dark side. He's been goading his dad, try to get out there and fight him for weeks now. Ray didn't bite. He finally couldn't take it anymore. And, here we go. We got a match at WrestleMania. I'm pretty sure that Dominic will get his hand raised in the match, but hopefully Ray beats the crap out of him, and then they hug it out at the end, and all's good with the world. All right, so we've got 2 multi-team tag matches that are what they call fatal 4-way. For the millions of listeners who aren't familiar with that, well, fatal 4-way means that you've got 4 different individuals or teams out there, and the first team to get a pinfall or submission is the winner. So the first is the men's. You've got Braun Strowman and Ricochet versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders. Now, as of today, which is Tuesday, the 28th of March, WWE hasn't listed any type of a stipulation for this match. Hopefully, they'll announce that the winner gets a tag team title shot at the next pay-per-view or something like that. But as it is now, they just got these performers on there to perform at the show of shows. Lots can happen here. You can imagine a spots fest happen. In particular, watch for Ricochet and Montez Ford of the Street Profits to do some serious high-flying stuff. Chad Gable is probably the best pure wrestler WWE has had since the heyday of Kurt Angle. The dude is amazing in the ring. If he was 6'2", he would have been a 5-time champ by now. Braun Strowman, strongman, 6'8", 360 pounds, ripped, can pull trees apart that are rooted 50 feet in the ground. Man is definitely a monster among men. Watch for him to throw people around. Otis from the Alpha Academy, everybody loves him. Looks like he went straight from Mandy Rose to Maxine Dupree. So there's something about this guy that the ladies just love. Yeah, I don't know. No answer on that one. Viking Raiders are the interesting one in this group. I actually think that they're going to win this match somehow. The rub for it would be better for them. I think Braun Strowman and Ricochet, they're stars, whatever they do, and it's probably about time to break them up. That takes them out. For the Street Profits with Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford, Ford probably has the most upside, but Dawkins has been working so hard on things lately. These guys are just amazing. The athleticism that you see from Montez Ford is just off the charts. I've never seen anybody do that splash off the top rope. It looks like he's flying out of the stadium when he does it. Just amazing stuff. So in this match, I do think that the Viking Raiders will win somehow. A big spot fest. Watch for Strowman and some of the other super heavyweights to throw guys around a lot. It's going to be fun to watch. Check it out. It'll be early in the card. Should be fun. Viking Raiders win. They have the most to gain out of it. The ladies are next. And again, it's a fatal four-way match. You've got former champ Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez. You got Natalia and Shotzi. You got Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. And then just recently added, you have Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. Carmella was going to be Chelsea Green's partner, but she has some kind of injury or something, so Sonya stepped in. This is going to be interesting to see what can happen. On paper, it should be a no-brainer. Ronda Rousey, Shayna Baszler come in, kick ass, take arms, pull them off, hit other folks over the head, and then you go on with your business to the next match. I don't see any way possible that these two very tough ladies lose this match. It is WrestleMania. Ronda Rousey in particular is a huge name, huge draw out there. It's good that she's back healthy enough to be on the card. I would love to see Natalia and Shotzi win. The entrance is probably going to be pretty cool. Hopefully Shotzi drives out there with her tank. It's going to be awesome. But look for Rousey and Shayna to just overpower everybody. And somebody out there is going to get armbarred, and it's not going to be very pretty. If I was to bet on this, and please, whatever you do not bet on pro wrestling. That's insane. If you're watching the show on Saturday and Sunday evening, they'll probably have all kinds of DraftKings stuff. And I think WWE is partnering with sports betting, which is nuts. Look, I've been a pro wrestling fan my entire life, and I probably have multiple PhDs in it if you could test me out. But there's no way in hell I would bet on this stuff. That's insane. So and I'm not going to do it, if I was going to bet, I would say that Chelsea Green or Sonya Deville, or one of them gets armbarred, and it's ugly, and we move on. All right. So moving to the next match here, we got something for the Intercontinental title. This one could be freaking awesome, folks. You've got Gunther, the champ. You got Drew McIntyre and Sheamus out there. Three big dudes who throw people around. This is going to be a rough and tumble match. Just anything could happen. This could be a show stealer, whatever night it's on. Gunther has just been awesome since he's moved up to the main roster. He's had the best Intercontinental Championship title run in quite a while. And I think that he's going to retain here in a great match, probably get the win over Sheamus. It wouldn't matter who he got the win over, but I think that it'll probably be over Sheamus, and it's probably about time for Drew McIntyre to move up the card a little bit. All right. Next we've got, this will be fun. We got the Great Edge versus Finn Balor. So anyway, we all know Edge's story. He had serious neck problems. He had to retire. 7 or 8 years later, he came back. He kicked ass. He's been back at WrestleMania. It seems like he gets hurt every few months and he's out again for a while. Then he returns good as ever. The dude just, he moves like a cat out there in the ring like he did 15 years ago. It's amazing. He doesn't do some of the crazy high-flying crap that he used to, like flying off of the ladder to tackle somebody in midair when they're trying to get the Money in the Bank briefcase, but that's okay. This should be fun. It'll be really freaking cool if this is WrestleMania and they bring out the personas, like maybe the old school Brood part of Edge, and then Finn comes out there, the demon Finn Balor. That'd be really cool. That wouldn't mix very well with his current faction that's this heel faction of Judgment Day. But this is WrestleMania. All bets are off. This is one match. Hopefully, this will end this feud. But it is a Hell in the Cell match. Now, I was thinking about that. The cell would have to be up there the whole time. Those are pretty big structures if you've seen them before. It's be interesting to see how WWE does that in the arena, how the setup works. I'm curious about that. I doubt anybody else is, but just how that would be for the fans, if it would block any views of the match, who knows? But Finn has to win this match as the Demon Finn Balor and move on. I hope that happens, but we need to see him as a babyface again, and this is the way they do it. Demon Finn Balor comes out, beats Edge, Hell in the Cell. It's going to be freaking amazing. Okay, so then we've got a 6-woman tag team match with Becky and Hall of Famers leading Trish Stratus versus Damage Control, led by our former favorite hugger, Bayley, and Io Sky, and shoot, Io Sky. I forget the. Oh man, I sound like a Mark here. I forget the other lady's name. It'll come to me in a minute. I'll remember. But 6-woman tag match. There's no tag titles on the line here. It's just going to be a knockdown, drag out. There's no way that the two legends, Lita, Trish, along with Becky, lose this match. But it should be fun. What's going to happen with Bayley? Bayley's been leading this faction for a while, but nothing's really come of it. Dakota Kai, that's it. Oh my gosh, I tell you, man. When it comes to this stuff, sometimes I need to have some notes for my pro wrestling knowledge. Those of you who know me and the way I talk about this stuff sometimes probably won't believe that, but yeah, I need some notes. Dakota Kai, props to you. I just couldn't remember the third teammate here. But in this match, Becky, Lita, Trish, they're going to win. I think this will be probably pretty short. Entrances might be pretty cool with the two legends, and Becky is always freaking awesome out there. And I hopefully we see at the end Lita and Trish do their finishers, and then Becky finishes them off, and definitely a babyface run there. All right. Next up, we've got Austin Theory, and not my favorite, and hopefully not yours, one and only Mr. John Cena, back for his once-a-year match for the United States Championship. Now, Theory has been the champ. This guy, if we go back a year, he was Vince McMahon's handpicked next guy. It's easy to see why. He's got legit height, at 6'1" or so. He's got the John Cena build. Dude's only 25. He's got a great look. He can talk. But on Monday Night Raw last week, he called John Cena out, and that didn't turn out very well for the guy. Say what you want about John Cena, but the dude is a master promo on the mic. I've been there. I've seen what happens. He comes into the ring. You got half the crowd yelling, boo. You got the let's go Cena and Cena sucks people at the same time. And he grabs that mic and he nods his head and he's like, yeah, I get it. But then it's crazy. 2 minutes later, he's got the crowd cheering him. I do not recall in the past, well, since the Attitude Era ended, any guy that can control the audience like this guy, John Cena. That said, there's no way in hell he can win. If he wins this match, any way, shape, or form, Austin Theory's buried. Austin Theory's 25 years old. He's the future of the business. He needs to win. He needs a big win over John Cena. Doesn't hurt Cena at all. Cena come back some other time. And hell, you can watch him on the Peacemaker right now. He's probably got 5 other shows in the can. So look for Theory to retain the United States Championship, have a good run. if this match is really good, maybe we'll see it again down the road, SummerSlam or the Royal Rumble next year. But Theory has to win clean, some way, shape, or form. And that's my prediction right there. Okay, so we move on. The next one, we've got the great Seth Rollins against social media star Logan Paul. Now, I'll be the first to tell you that when it comes to the star or celebrity aspect of pro wrestling, being a guy who's been a big fan of this stuff since he was tiny, call that the Mid-South Wrestling, Junkyard Dog, Ted DiBiase, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Kamala, and all those guys way back in the day at the Myriad in Oklahoma City, Mid-South Wrestling. Awesome stuff. But this one here, I don't know. I guess it just depends. If we go back, I think it was last year when Johnny Knoxville and the crew of Jackass Forever took on the great Sami Zayn, that was just funny as hell. And at the heart of this stuff, professional wrestling is supposed to be fun. If it's not fun, these guys take it too seriously, or people out there are going nuts and saying all these bad things online. Forget that. It's supposed to be for fun. If you don't act like it's for fun, then watch something else. Okay. This isn't mixed martial arts, and I'm a huge UFC fan. And when Zach and I talk about UFC, it's a whole other thing. WWE, different. It's for fun. World Wrestling Entertainment with the E on the end. With that, not all celebrity matches or involvement are created equal. A couple of years ago at WrestleMania, Bad Bunny was awesome out there, exceeded expectations. I don't care anything about Logan Paul or his brother, and I think that his brother Jake got beat for the first time boxing not long ago. Good. I don't remember who beat him, but good for the other guy. Props to these guys, Logan Paul, for being in pro wrestling shape and doing some pretty good stuff in the ring. Last time out, he was against Roman Reigns, and of course, Roman won the match, but Roman bumped for Logan Paul, made him look really good out there, and it was very, very entertaining. I expect the same. Seth Rollins is the freaking best in the business. I've got his T-shirt in the closet 10 feet away from me. Just dude is amazing, and he always wears really cool jackets out there. I'm sure they'll have some killer ring attire for WrestleMania. Look for this to be a much better match than it ever has any right to. Seth will make Logan Paul look like $1 million. We'll see Logan Paul again down the road, but ultimately, bam, stomp, maybe a second or third stomp, and Seth Rollins is the victor at WrestleMania. On to the next one. This one is polarizing here, folks. You've got the giant Omos versus Brock Lesnar. And yeah, look, I like Omos. I think he's cool. He's got a great presence. The dude's legit 6. Geez, I need to add another foot. He's legit 7'3" tall. And he is every bit of 380, 400 pounds. And the dude is pretty solid. He's obviously green as goose shit out there. Shout out to Jim Ross from his book when describing the lack of experience. But, pro wrestling, again, it goes back to entertainment. It was built on these monstrous men. Andre the Giant, Jerry Blackwell, the giant Paul White, aka the Big Show, just these huge men over the years, and Omos fits that bill. Anytime Brock Lesnar comes out there, he's like a tornado, and I mean his finishing move is called the F5. Absolutely, this has to be short, has to be sweet, has to be to the point. Look for Brock to sell out for Omos. He'll take some bumps, probably get tossed over the top rope, maybe get a choke slam or two. And that double choke slam Omos uses has put everybody else down. Ain't going to put Brock down, though. No, not this time. Brock is going to kick out at 2 and 25/26. and he's going to deliver an F5 to Omos, get the victory in about 4 minutes. Um, I like this version of Brock Lesnar. I've been on the record with my millions of followers that I'm not a fan of any of these part-time guys being in the championship title scene, as Brock has been for a long time. But as a part-timer like he is, coming up occasionally, being an attraction like The Undertaker was for years, it's fun. So Brock gets a victory here. Okay, now we're starting to get down to business here. I'm going to skip over the undisputed WWE tag team match real quick and go to Bianca Belair versus Asuka for the Raw Women's Championship. Just Bianca is probably the most, well, just best performer that WWE has had the last 3 years. And she looks to go undefeated 3-0 at WrestleMania. This case here, Asuka is just a phenomenal talent. She's amazing. The way that she's come back from injury this time, she has this new look, new persona. She's still an ass kicker in the ring out there. This could be the best match of the entire weekend. I don't quite know what's going to happen. You can make arguments either way. Bianca has had one hell of a reign. She deserves a victory here, but Asuka does as well. And this comes to me, this is a case of, it's been a while since we've had a title change here with the Raw Women's Championship. I think Asuka gets a run. Look for this to be match one of several. I don't know if they'll run it back at the next pay-per-view or not, but this rival needs to continue. So I'm going to take Asuka with the Asuka lock, or maybe it might be something quick like a roll-up or something, but look for a great match. I know Asuka tends to use that mist, the green mist, a la the Greek kabuki from many, many thousands of years ago. But I don't see any nefarious means here. I see a clean victory for Asuka, but don't be surprised if Bianca pulls it out. This one is as close to 50-50 as I can get. I'm going to lean 40, or what am I going to? I'm going to lean 52-48 for Asuka to win the Raw Women's Championship. So next one, we've got the SmackDown Women's Champion, the one and only Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley of Judgment Day. Man, I tell you, Ripley is amazing. She's only 25 years old, I believe, 25 or 26. She's already been champ. She's already been in the main event at WrestleMania. She's great. This heel character she's been doing as part of Judgment Day is just amazing character work. The way that she's worked with Dominic Mysterio, who, in my opinion, was a total zero without his father Ray, but working with Rhea Ripley, he's been an amazing heel that you want to pay to see get beat up. With that, Charlotte, 14-time champ, got the Flair Dame, got it all. And Charlotte's amazing. And if she loses this match, loses the title, she'll be back on Raw the next night. She'll be just fine. This is the time for Rhea Ripley to claim the title here. That said, at WrestleMania or any match, you can never, ever count out Charlotte Flair. A lot of people in the internet wrestling community think that's just too much. She's been pushed down her throat. The point is, she is that damn good. She really is. So just evenly matched opponents, great skill set on both sides, incredible athletic ability, strength, everything, ring psychology. Both of these ladies have it all. Every time Charlotte gets on the top rope and does that freaking backflip, 12 feet in the air to the apron outside, just kind of freaks me out. You can see her face plant or worse sometime, but it's unbelievable what she does. And she hits that every single time. Like I said, you can't ever count Charlotte out, but I'm going with Rhea here. I'm going to call it a 60-40 split, 60% certain, which means in pro wrestling speak, I'm totally uncertain what's going to happen, but Rhea wins the match. I do think that it's about time for her to break up with the Judgment Day, but we'll see how that happens. There's no telling. So we got two other ones left on the card here, and I'm going to save the big one for last. But you've got an incredible story with the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Man, I tell you, this stuff, the Bloodline story has just been the best story I've seen in years told in professional wrestling. For all of our listeners there who aren't familiar, well, let me give you a little synopsis. Of course, you've got Roman Reigns, formerly of the Shield. Shield broke up. Roman was pushed crazy as a babyface for years, and pretty much shoved down the fans' throat, and that didn't always work very well. The dude is a natural, just ass-kicking action star who comes off as this very cocky, arrogant, I'm better than you, I'm the best, I'm the tribal chief, follow me, or what he says, acknowledge me. And he's got his family. I mean, the Inoue family has just pro wrestling royalty with all those guys down the line. Umaga, Yokozuna, Afetsika, the Wild Samoans. Of course, you've got the Jay and Jimmy Uso. Of course, you got Solo Sikoa. Those three guys are brothers. They're cousins with Roman. You can't make this stuff up. And in case you didn't know, on the other side of that, guess who they're related to? The one and only The Rock. I can't do the eyebrow. Sort of. I don't really have eyebrows. But yeah, Rock and others are related to these guys in the big picture extended Inoue family wrestling royalty. So anyway, just the bloodline thing has been going on for several years. It kind of started with Jey Uso and Roman. They had a series of matches that were just amazing. Roman won those, and Jey joined up, and the bloodline has kind of proliferated from then. Of course, one of our favorite all-time heel managers, or what do you want to say, consultant, wise men, advocate, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. Well, Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns was a natural. If Heyman wasn't going to go back with Brock Lesnar, then it was just amazing, his pairing with Roman Reigns. It's been pure joy to watch. Those guys are so good. So you've had Paul Heyman, Roman Reigns, the Uso brothers, now Solo Sikoa, and then you threw in this little guy from Montreal named Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is this pro wrestling dynamo. He is one of the best characters I have ever seen in my life in any wrestling organization. Him and Kevin Owens have been friends and fighting each other in the wrestling world all over the world for over 20 years now. That is well known. They play into that in their promos. It's great when they put the real life stuff in there. They don't try to hide it. For the last year or so, Kevin's been trying to get Sami to get out of this, because Sami had been manipulated by Roman Reigns and the bloodline, and there's all this stuff, just great television. You have classic things like Sami saying, "You're not Usi enough," to one of the Uso brothers. You had the famous t-shirt when Roman Reigns gave Sami Zayn the honorary Us t-shirt. Man, hell, I about had a tear in my eye for that. It was something. So you fast forward, and at the Royal Rumble, Sami had finally had enough, and he turned on Roman. It didn't work out too well for him, but it created an incredible babyface turn for Sami Zayn. The dude's character is so amazing. It's something to behold. But he was kind of Was he by himself? Was he not? Jey Uso was on his side, or was he not? Jey was kind of torn. Well, the bloodline rules all. Of course, we all know that in the end, and they pretty much destroyed Sami Zayn until one Kevin Owens came out to rescue him just a few weeks back. And it was still kind of an uneasy alliance. But then last week, they just gave each other the big hug there in the ring. One of the biggest pops I've heard on television in a long time that wasn't WWE piped in music. Freaking incredible. And I had many tears rolling down my face right there. So with all that, and that's like an awful lot of lead up there. We've got the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match with the Uso brothers versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Man, I expect this one to be a classic. You've got four of the best workers in the business out there. Incredible storytelling's on the horizon. Expect Uso brothers Solo Sikoa to get involved. I don't imagine that we'll see Paul Heyman or Roman Reigns out there. You never know, but I don't think that we'll see that. Look for this to be a match that is decided in the ring, and you gotta have a change here. There's no way that the Usos walk out of this one. Of all the matches on the card, this one and Omos versus Brock Lesnar, where Brock is a 99.9999999. Actually, forget it. He's 100% going to win. Yeah, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have to win this one. This should be a classic. It's going to be an awesome WrestleMania moment. Hopefully, they build upon it. If this was in the time of Vince McMahon running creative, you just don't ever know how it's going to be the day after WrestleMania. But this one is gold. It's written itself. And they can continue the feud. There's all kinds of things that can happen with this. Will Solo Sikoa, will he break up? Will Jimmy and Jay break up? I think that sometime down the road, we need to see Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, which would come full circle for the bloodline. We'll see if that happens. I'll kind of touch on that here in a second with our main event. But Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn win the title. I would love to see that as the main event of Saturday night. That would be really cool. That'd give the fans something to remember. Anyway, the last match is undisputed WWE champion Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Now, some of my fans out there are thinking, Cody Rhodes, didn't he disappear? Isn't he Dusty Rhodes' brother? Was he Goldust or was he Stardust? Was he a guy with the really stupid looking mustache sometime back? Wasn't he working in another promotion? Well, all those are true. Yeah. Cody is the son of Dusty, the American Dream, Common Man, son of a plumber. The famous Hard Times promo, look it up, Google Hard Times. You'll love it, I tell you. But he left the WWE about 8 years ago, went out on his own. He tested the independent waters. I'm not going to get into that. I don't really follow that. But he ended up with All Elite Wrestling there at the very beginning. He helped start it. And I don't know what led to him leaving, but he came back to WWE and he's been amazing ever since. He made his re-debut at WrestleMania last year versus Seth Rollins. Just great pop from the crowd. Cody, during the time away from the AEW, he really worked on his character. His promo skills got so much better. The dude is awesome out there. He's believable. And of all the guys that Roman has faced, minus Brock Lesnar, of course, who always has a chance to win, I do think Cody has got a great shot to come out. I'll talk about this in a minute. Roman has been such a dominant champion. The character has just been amazing. I never thought that they would turn him like this, but he is so good, being that cool, calm, collected heel who just runs everything and everybody is beneath him. He does that so well. It's almost like it's how he really is, but all indications are he's just a good dude. and I hope that's true. But this match, sometimes they tend to have these main events go a long time, 20, 25 minutes. I could see that happening. There's definitely going to be some kind of shenanigans in this match. Paul Heyman, of course, will be there. Cody, yeah, he doesn't have anybody as a backup. I don't see anybody returning, or one of the other wrestlers from the back coming out to make a difference on his end. But of course, you've got the bloodline, Solo Sikoa. Regardless of what happens in the Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens versus Usos match, I'm sure Solo Sikoa will be out there with Paul Heyman, and it probably factor into this somehow. Look for Roman to beat the crap out of Cody, but I could see this kind of setting up like some of the Roman Reigns Brock Lesnar matches where Roman starts hot, Brock is beating the crap out of him, and something happens, and Roman comes in, picks up the pieces. I think it's more likely we see something like that. Cody pulls a win out at the end. There could definitely be some nefarious things that go the wrong way for the bloodline, because they need to keep advancing that story to their ultimate breakup. But there's one thing that keeps me from going more than 55% all in on Cody, and it's the elusive 1,000-day title reign for Roman Reigns. He's getting pretty damn close to that. And when you're talking about that, you're talking about Hulk Hogan territory, and nobody has approached that in an awful long time. So, yeah, it's tough, man. This will definitely be the main event of night 2, which would be Sunday night. And luckily, they have made WrestleMania 2 nights, which you got 3 hours plus both nights. And this match will probably kick off sometime around 10:30 or 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Again, look for a 20, 25-minute, hell, even maybe a 30-minute match with entrances and such. And I think that Cody is going to win. He's probably going to hit a couple, maybe 3 or 4 of his crossroads finishers there at the end to take Reigns out. I could see something happening with Solo Sikoa. Maybe he accidentally hits Reigns or something like that. It will be interesting after this to see what happens with Reigns. If he takes some time off. He's got, I think, 5 children at home, including toddler twins. He's already been pretty much a part-timer, but I would kind of expect him to take some time off after this. Got to go with Cody for the win. Thank you again to the fine people at Roosters and Pigrington. In case you're wondering, that is sweet tea. I am from Oklahoma. I drink sweet tea. There's no other thing. Anything else needs to go in the trash. It's brown water garbage. Oh, and the sweet tea is even better with lemon. Try it. So I got Cody winning the WWE Undisputed Championship at the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania. So, with all that, I went down the card. Could we see some crazy upsets? Could some crazy stuff happen? WrestleMania is a spectacle. There's always a chance something could happen. Could we see a return like a Stone Cold Steve Austin? Could he come out there and stun somebody and make a difference? Yeah, absolutely. But something to keep an eye on is that Dwayne Johnson guy, The Rock. I mean, I'm sure he's probably based out there in Southern California. I'm sure he'll be backstage. Yeah, they've been talking about Roman versus The Rock for a long time, and as far as spectacle is concerned, you couldn't get any bigger than that. Yeah, obviously Rock hasn't been in the ring in a long time. He's about my age now. He looks a little bit better in the gym than I do, but not a whole lot. But as far as charisma, uh, celebrity involvement, just social media interactions, everything, in any type of Roman Reigns Rock match would be just amazing. I I don't know if there's going to be any Rock involvement here. If there was, it would be fun. If it had something to do with the title changing, I don't think that would be a good idea, because if anybody is going to beat Roman Reigns, or whenever that does happen, it needs to be a big deal. And whoever that person is, if it's Cody, if it's down the road, if it's Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, whomever, then it needs to stand out on its own. You don't need The Rock overshadowing that. So I don't think The Rock is going to be a part of this match, but he could definitely show up sometime uh, in over WrestleMania weekend and do something, you know. Maybe, hey, he drops the eyebrow, he calls somebody a jabroni, he delivers the people's elbow. That's all we want to see. All right. So other stuff here, the Miz is hosting WrestleMania. You know, maybe Stone Cold comes out there and kicks Miz in the nuts and drops him with the Stone Cold Stunner. I'd pay good money to see that. That'd be fine. Lots and lots and lots of stuff here. I would hope that during the course of the night, they give some of these matches a little bit of time and don't have extended video packages like WWE tends to do from time to time. The video packages that they do a lot are awesome. Just you know, the production value is off the charts, but you know, over the course of the evening, they might have an hour's worth of video packages on stuff that we've already seen, where they could have, you know, lengthen or, you know, given some other folks more time for their matches. So we'll see how that goes. Expect lots of video packages. You know, be sure that you've got your wings, your pizza, your Steve Weisers, if you know what I'm talking about, or your Dr. Pepper, or your really good root beer. Out here in Ohio, I go with Boylan's out of Cincinnati, actually. Just one of the best root beers I've ever had. Smooth as silk. Makes that A&W stuff taste like brown water, you know, kind of like unsweet tea. Just not good. But have all your stuff. You know, get your Macho Man out of mothballs. Get your pro wrestling shirt on. Get your Randy Orton shirt. I like to see him come back. Maybe he'll come back on Monday Night Raw afterward. Hopefully he's recovered from injury. But anyway, I don't know if this one will ever see the light of day. It might just be for me. I had a guest that I wanted to come on and he couldn't make it. So it's just me. Zach's not a WWE fan anymore. Last time he watched WWE, John Cena was in his heyday, and he had a whole bunch of Cena stuff. Had an armband, had a little microphone that had some of John Cena's sayings. And I've taken him to a couple matches before. The last one was Money in the Bank here in Columbus, Ohio, back in 2015. It was right after the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes died. So I don't think he cares anything else for it. So I didn't want to involve him in WrestleMania breakdown, but because it is WrestleMania week, I wanted to have a Jaws on Sports special edition. So I'm not going to call this Jaws on Sports Edition 7. When Zach and I talk, hopefully tomorrow, that will be Edition 7. But this was Jaws on Sports. Mike going solo, talking about WrestleMania this weekend at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. Big matches. I've got Cody Rhodes winning the undisputed WWE Championship over Roman Reigns. I've got Rhea Ripley over Charlotte Flair. I've got Asuka over Bianca. And then I've got Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn over the Usos for the tag team championships. Interestingly enough, and I just thought about this right now, all four of those will be title changes. So whatever you do, don't bet on that, okay? Because I guarantee you that one or probably two of those will not be title changes. So anyway, For myself, for Roosters for having great wings tonight, sweet tea with lemon, for the great Macho Man Randy Savage, and for Randy Orton with the best finishing move of all time, the RKO. I want to thank you folks for joining me online tonight. This is Jaws on Sports. This is Mike. Have a good night and step into a Slim Jim.